All right. And we are live. Welcome to the stream. It's 3 years. 2024 is 3 years from now. Are you okay? Get it? In 2 years it would be 2023. Tremaine Mitchell. I do not believe I've seen your face before. Are you new to the stream by any chance? Are you curious real quick to know why I schedule my streams years ahead of time? I actually have a very logical reason why I do that. That's actually pretty tasty. I decided to mix some blueberry and fruit punch Mio liquid water enhancer together because I ran out of the blueberry. So I put some fruit punch in there to mix it up. And it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm just, not having a good day. I'll explain that in a couple of minutes. I'm just having a little bit of bad luck, everything happening at the same time. It's kind of effing annoying. I'll probably get into a little bit of American Truck Simulator. I mean, I can start for the few people that are in here. I think there's just you left now. Yeah, so my snake died. I'm not getting the Alienware computer because the verification got denied even though my credit check passed. And I lost everything in American Truck Simulator that I had worked on legit. So about 50 hours of gameplay is gone. Boom, boom, boom. That just all happened at the same time today. And just my computer overall, it's just really not doing well. It really isn't. So, like I've mentioned before, I've had to go ahead and, lower the stream to 30 frames instead of 60 because that little extra bit of energy, if you will, required from my computer, it's just too much. I also found out, like I made in my rant video earlier today, that even people with big bucks that have a lot of money, sometimes they'll have two gaming computers. One streams and the other one plays the game. It's just a thing sometimes that people do. Mind you, overall, like I said, depending on the game that I play, and this is a 7-year-old computer, uh, I don't have any issues really apart from the sound and the computer's starting to show its age a little bit, but the crackling and all that, my sound disappearing, having to reboot my computer about 6 times a day because of the crackling sound. That's definitely an issue, for sure. But yeah. Now, I have a bad feeling about this one. Let's go and see something here. I gotta make sure. Is it the Peterbilt? Yeah, it's this one. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and hop into that one after we upgrade it from our garage. Yeah, that looks about right. So does that. Yes. 18 speeds. Again, if I grab a 7 one, I lose, stability and other types of terrain. Just in case you're wondering. And we'll go ahead and add that steering wheel because why not? Or rather, this one. Okay, now I unplugged my steering wheel earlier. We're going to drive it. I hope that my settings didn't get wonky. I don't think they would have. But how are you doing there, Hungry Panda? Oh, there we go. Seems to be working okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, why is that shit moving constantly? Yeah, so I lost everything in the game, like I said. I guess the only good news, if you will, in this... Ooh, bear with me for a moment. That's good. Why does it keep doing that? We're gonna go here. We're gonna go there. Click on that. Click on that. We're gonna do 1 and 3. There we go. Oh, well, would you look at that? Yeah, the only thing that's off-putting... Ah, no way! That's so badass that they did that. Okay. That's really minimalistic there. So, as you could... Let me just back up the truck here. Whoops. Let me just back this up. And hit a wall. That's always good. I'm just gonna cruise around for a little bit. Mainly testing out the computer again, just to kind of see how things are. So generally, there's a thing behind my head. What was that noise? What was what noise? I mean, I was backing up my truck. I hit a wall. There's people walking by outside, hollering. It could be that. Anyways, there's a bar at the bottom, and it shows my money, how fast I'm going, what gear I'm in, how much gas I have. And then I've got this little thing here behind the webcam, but it's a lot smaller. Anyways, it's a mod. It just kind of simplifies it so it's not like this big, massive rectangle. And it's really cool that they've done that. But you can't just grab it and drag it, which is fucking stupid. But, you know, we won't get into that. And then I got a mod as well. It's a simple mod for the mirrors to actually be wedged in each corner. So that's another thing as well. Let's go to New Mexico. We'll just pick a random spot just so I have like a sense of, you know, destination, if you will, even though I could technically just fast travel there. That's not the point. Yeah, so about the game, you can see the mirrors at the top left and the top right. They're like wedged right in the corners symmetrically. Normally it's not like that. Normally they're kind of like a little bit lower, a little bit more like centered, and it's kind of stupid. Oh, he's gonna hit us. And it's just kind of dumb, to be honest. So I went ahead and got a mod so that it doesn't do that, so it's just symmetrically in the corner. Same thing with the navigation. I could see my speed, everything. You know, how long it's going to take me to get to my destination, but in a nice bar. Just at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to... Actually, you can see it right next to my bald pumpkin head. You can see all that information. Normally... yeah, you can't... you can actually see a bit of the panel. Right behind my head, you can see it a little bit. The panel is sticking out. Anyways. Well, there is no multiplayer in this game. It's a single-player game. You can do external contracts, and then it records your stats online. I had tried that, but I don't give a rat's ass to show off my stats to people. My whole fucking profile got deleted, and I had to start all over again. So I cheated. Fuck it. I hacked it. I'm done. I had a legit profile. I hacked money and XP so that I could get all the shit back that I had rightfully earned. The problem is I was level 12, not 130. But it was either I cheat a lot or I don't. Like, there was no in between. And I'm gonna admit, it is annoying, but it is what it is. Whatever. The main point of this game for me, honestly, and I've explained this before, It wasn't really about the leveling up, even though that was kind of nice and kind of slowly unlocking, the best transmission, the best engine, the nicer paint jobs. It was really the drive. It was the challenge. It was putting in the miles, Just driving the road, looking at your map over here, looking at all the yellow that you could see on the map. That's where I've actually driven. So before that, I had 6 or 7,000 miles. I had almost all of California, driven on the roads and stuff like that. Those were sort of the stats that I was keeping up with. But that's all gone now. So I just have to say, you know what? Piss on all of it. Ultimately, I have every truck that I want, all the parts, all the money, all the skills. Now I can just cruise around, do jobs at random with the simple incentive of just doing it for the fun of it because I have the steering wheel and it's for the sake of, doing the challenges. Hello, Justin. Justin Mortal 69. I don't want a 69 with an apex, especially not an immortal one. Well, there is no computer coming, period, but yeah, just not really having any luck because, like I said, it kind of happened all at the same time. In case you're just tuning in, I know that it might be off-putting to put that in the title, like, oh great, just what I want to see. This guy already rambles on 100 miles an hour. If he's putting in the title, he's not having a good day. I don't know if I want to step in there. But no, it's fine. I mean, shit happens. It's fucking annoying. I had gotten rid of some snakes, I used to collect a lot of them. I wanted to breed snakes, make some money with that, but that never came to fruition. I was all like, someday I'm going to be making thousands of dollars selling rare, exotic color morphs of snakes. Instead, I lost money. I never made any money. Again, all those years I could have been doing YouTube. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be making money on YouTube in just a year. But there it happened. But yeah, so I only had one snake left. It was a baby. It was a corn snake. And yeah, it just fucking died because who knows, eh? Shit happens. I mean, I just fed her yesterday. She had 2 small mice. She was doing good, held her and all that stuff. No visible signs of like, ooh, And just opened the tank to give it the daily fresh water, and I was like, it kind of has that dead smell to it, right? The smell of death. You cannot mistake that smell. I thought what it was underneath the paper towel, maybe one of the rats. After all, maybe she hadn't eaten it, and it was like the rat. But I was like, no, I checked, and the rats were gone. She had eaten both of them. So I was like, it couldn't have been that. Because that can happen sometimes, if you have like a couple of dozen snakes, and you're all feeding them, and you've got bins and bins of snakes, and you start tossing rats all over the place, you're bound to have a few snakes that can be finicky sometimes that are not just going to eat the moment you drop food in front of them. And if you get distracted and you forget about them for a day, the next day, you can have a little bit of that smell. Like I said, the smell of death. And it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And yeah, so I was confused. I was like, well, that's weird. I was like, it can't be my snake because I just saw my snake a few minutes ago and it was doing its thing, flicking its tongue, looking at me, wanting to come out of its tank. And it was just not moving. So I was like, ah, lovely. So yeah. Yeah, it blows. I mean, I can replace it. It's not like it was a super expensive snake. It's not about the money, right? It's just, I like that snake. It was like a white, it was called like sort of like a snow corn snake. I'm not going to get too technical, but it was a corn snake. And it was white. It was a white snake. Wasn't all that big, like I said. So, I mean, I can replace it, but now there's COVID, and you know what I mean? Like, not really in the mood to start going on the classifieds now to start meeting up with people so I could buy snakes from them. It's kind of like a bit of a... not the greatest time to be doing that. I mean, I technically could and still be safe, but I'm just saying I lack the motivation to go out and do that. And then the whole thing with the computer after being told, oh yeah, you got approved, you just didn't get verified, your phone number didn't match, you know, your credit report. And I was like, okay, that's because I never called the credit bureau and went, okay, so by the way, I changed my phone number half a decade ago. Would you like to mark it down? Like, it doesn't work that way. It's the same phone number I've had with my bank for years and everything, my doctors, all that stuff. So if the credit bureau doesn't have it, fuck them. Not my problem. So Dell was like, oh, it's not the same phone number that's on your account. Yeah, get over it. It was an old Magic Jack number from years ago, and I don't fucking use it. So that was problematic, and so they canceled me because of fraud protection. But it took them 5 days and about 9 or 10 reps on the phone to finally tell me that. So that's what was a waste of my fucking time. But yeah, what's with all the retracted messages, Connor? What are you saying? So my snake was only like a year and a half old. It was still pretty small. I mean, it wasn't like a baby as in like 2 months old, right? I got it, well, I guess it would have been going on I guess time does fly by after all. Yeah, about a year and a half, maybe closer to 2. I guess time was going on pretty fast. I got it before COVID. That's all I know. At the end of summer, yeah, so whenever. I can't think right now off the top of my head. Not last summer, because that was COVID. All of last summer, all of last year was fucked up. That was 2020. So in 2019, at the end of 2019, is when I got it. I think like in August of 2019. Yeah, so about 5 or 6 months before the whole COVID thing started. So it would have been 2 years this August, if you will. But yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I really like my pets, you know. I'll tell you a quick story about a snake story. What's interesting about just life in general, animals, creatures. You know, just because an animal doesn't purr, doesn't make a cute face, doesn't snuggle up on you. What was interesting about a lot of my snakes over the years that I've had, a lot of them were rescues from people that were mistreating or mishandling or couldn't care for their snakes. I used to do reptile rescue. It was a non-profit. It put me in a lot of debt. I would take in people's decrepit animals. I would rehabilitate them, and then I would rehome them. And I would educate the people on how to care for said animal. I did all that on my own. It was fun. It's kind of like having your own pet store, except all your pets aren't all doing all that great, you know? And I'll never forget this one. It was semi-illegal. Go ahead and call the city. I already know the head of the reptile bylaw community in my city. He knows me on a first-name basis, so he knows. It was one of those gray areas, like if you've ever heard of like an anaconda. No, that's not what I had. But I had a snake of the same family that gets as big as an anaconda, but mine wasn't going to get that big. It was called a reticulated python. In name, if you're not a reptile enthusiast, you may not really know what a reticulated python is. In name, anacondas are a lot more popular. So it's like, oh my god, the anaconda, you know? Well, a reticulated python is just as big, or can get just as big. An absolute monster of a snake, but the one that I had was only 5 feet long. And she was a real vicious psychopath in the pet store in another province near where I used to live. And it used to just try and hiss and attack everybody. It was really, really wild. And when I walked into the pet store, you know, even the owner of the pet store who's not afraid, like, you don't have to be afraid of an animal to know that you don't want to be bitten by it when it's hissing at you, showing its fucking teeth, and it wants to make a meal out of you. So I just walked in, and I'm just so used to getting bitten by shit. I was like, didn't even think about it. I just walked up, talked to the snake. Of course, people thought it was a little bit loopy, which is not too far from the truth. And I just put my hand in the tank, but, you know, I wasn't going like, oh, huh, oh. You know, that's what people were doing in the fucking tank. And, the snake's trying to bite me. Well, fuck. I would probably bite you too if you stuck your fucking fingers in my face back and forth like that. Either you're in or you're out. Like, make up your mind. Animals aren't that stupid, right? If you're all freaked out and skitzing out in front of the animal's gonna sense that, feed off of it, and it's also maybe going to wonder, why is it you're all, like, freaking out, you know? Anyway, so I reached my hand in, didn't hesitate, just grabbed her, pulled her out. She wrapped herself around my neck, stayed calm, and everyone in the store was like, you want her? You can fucking have her. So, it's pretty cool. And then, back then, when I would have a few people come over sometimes, rarely, but once in a blue moon when I did, my snake would never come out. Always stayed in, and I will check the chat out in a second. My snake always stayed in its tank. But every time I walked by, I'm just saying, I would walk by, my snake would come out, stick its head out right at the top of the lid, right in front of me, big fucking head on it, and almost as if to say, hey, psst, let me out. So I always thought that was interesting. Yeah, animals can, you know, they can sense stuff. Snake, syrup mango. Huh? I'm so lost. Yeah, Parisio, I think you sent me a message. I thought you were like 18 or something. Did you seriously turn 12? I'm just saying, like, that sucks because, damn it, this stream is not meant for kids. I like to swear sometimes, and if I know somebody in here is fucking 12 years old, I feel like I have to talk like some old grandpa or some shit. Tell me you turned 21, not 12. Tell me you're a little dyslexic. You guess. Type in right now the truth. No lies. What is the age? I'm just curious because you've come in a few times. There was one person that came in and was like, something about my birthday soon. I'm almost 14 or something like that. And then it was like a huge error. They're like, oh, no. I meant to say I'm like 32. And I'm like, 14? 32. A huge fucking difference there, right? Your cat Kuma feeds off of my literal. Oh, yeah. Damn. Again, it's not a problem. It's just one of those weird things where when you consciously know that there's someone in your stream that age, I'm just saying, right? You kind of feel like you gotta talk differently. Anyway, so that's the point of the story. Is even with like king cobras and certain species of snakes that exhibit higher intelligence than others, and it's been proven that they can recognize their caretakers. They'll have like a bunch of people in a zoo all dressed the same, right? For example, because sometimes they think that that's why the snake remembers them. So you'll have like a bunch of people about the same stature, same height, same hair, all wearing glasses, the same hat, the same everything, and then you'll watch like the regular zookeeper of the king cobra go into the snake tank, and then the snake has a certain disposition, how it just stays there calm and whatever. And then a little bit later they try and trick the snake, so they'll have another person go in the snake tank. Now all of a sudden the cobra, the king cobra, which by the way, scientific name for king cobra is Osteophagus hana. It's actually not a real cobra. A cobra is part of the family of nausea. But you know what? I'm not going to get into that. A little bit of useless information. You would think I was a herpetologist, and no, that does not mean I study fucking herpes. Herpetology is the study of reptiles and amphibians. But I could see why some people would want to make that joke. Herpetology, get it? Herpetology, herpes? No. I hate to crush your dreams, but that's not what it means. But, what happened there? Oh. Yeah, so it's interesting, like I said, with, with animals. Like I said, we always think of it's just cats and dogs that exhibit any type of intelligence, and everything else is just, stupid or, oblivious to its surroundings. And you would be kind of surprised. Even certain spiders, believe it or not, fucking spider. They've done studies with people, walking by, and a spider gets all freaked out and always goes underneath the deck somewhere like in the rainforest in the middle of nowhere. But a place where a man lives, and he's been there for many years, and he's by the dock. Funny enough, when he's walking by the spider, this exact spider, because they got like the cameras and shit, so that's how they can tell. He's walking around doing his thing. The spider just kind of sits there on the dock. The guy is moving around doing his thing. Anybody else even remotely gets close, even within a quarter of the distance, or quadruple the distance rather, of this person, and the spider's like, fuck that, hides in between the cracks. So you start to go, what's going on here, right? And that's why some people will start going as far as going, is this fucking spider actually recognizing that individual that they see every day in comparison to the other people they've never seen before? Because sometimes we think animals are able to sense that humans aren't a threat in general. Like that's why they say don't go to parks and start feeding bears and all that, because they'll get humanized, right? But this is going a step further. This is not just humanized. This is like individual human. Hey, I don't recognize you. Snake wants to chew your face off. The original guy comes back in. Oh, you're that guy that always comes in here, changes my water, picks up my shit, and doesn't try and kill me. Okay, you're cool. I'll let you go. It's kind of hard not to think that that's what's going on, right? Whether they recognize you by your scent, your pheromones, you know what I mean? Like, it's been proven that even spiders can pick up, they can smell your hormones, they can smell fear. So it's kind of really messed up, but there's some deep scientific proof of that, with years of research that they're able to prove that even spiders can sense your displeasure of them and shit when you get all like panicked. It's the same thing with animals, the whole thing with the bear. If you show that you're afraid, or even like a wolf, right? Especially like alpha animals, right? If that's why they say never run, turn your back on an animal, because it will fuck you up. It'll eat you, right? That's why they say with a bear. But be honest, how many of us have the balls to do this? A bear comes charging at you. You know that oftentimes bears, when they charge you, they're actually not charging to even touch you? Did you know that? Bears do what's called a mock charge. So they'll charge you head on like a bull. But the difference is they'll actually, right at the last second, almost like playing chicken, they'll just dodge out of the way. They're testing you. They're literally playing head games with you. Bears do that, right? But if you saw a 2,000-pound grizzly bear charging you, I could almost promise you, I don't care how psycho you are in the head, you're going to exhibit something. Whether you physically show it or not, you're going to give off like, like because they can sense like your heart rate, your breathing changing, and all that. It might still help, but they can tell that you're scared. But if you turn around and run, they're like, "Oh, look at this bitch," and they'll fuck you up. There's even actually types of cougars and big wildcats that only attack their prey from the back. They're cowards in a way. And if you don't turn your back on them, they might confront you and try to circle around you. But if you keep watching them and you stand your ground, in a lot of instances, you have a good chance of survival. I'm almost legally an adult, though. Almost. Almost. Not even close. You're not even a teen. But enjoy life. You'll get there eventually. So, how I lost my progress in the game, I feel like I have to watch the chat now because it's hard to play and watch the chat at the same time. Uh, I actually don't have all that much longer to be on it. It's kind of like a little bit of a short stream. We'll just see what happens. So I was playing around with some mods, right? And I decided there's some mods I didn't want. So I unsubscribed from them. Some mods are tricky. Like if you add a cat or a guitar, like a mod that someone made, but you get rid of the mod, but you never sold off or got rid of the mod in your truck, it doesn't understand what's going on, so it's looking for it. So it kept making my game crash. I also decided to revert back from the open beta update 1.40 and revert back to the retail 1.39. Then right away, I couldn't use my progress. It's not like backwards compatible. A lot of games allow you to go backwards when you do a beta. So I was forced to find a really, really, really old save. I loaded it up and I started having problems because of the mod thing. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. So I said, you know what? Let me just delete the profile. I had lost all my garages. I had lost 80% of all my traveled routes. I had no workers, lost all my money. I only had one truck. Apparently, I had never discovered any dealerships, nothing, and supposedly I had no garages. Several dozens of hours of gameplay gone. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Forget it. I'll use a hack. I'm max level, max money, max rank, skill points. I'm just going to use this game to just have fun, to cruise around, do the challenges, like actually do jobs for the sake of doing it. And that's it. I just won't be playing the game to progress further and unlock stuff because I unlocked everything. I'm done going through this bullshit. So I made a clean profile with no mods, and then I saved it. And then I made a separate save with a few mods. Just a few, nothing too crazy. Things that should relatively be safe for me to remove without losing all my progress. So yeah. I saw this documentary where the guy was able to go to the Arctic wolves and just walked up to him and sniffed him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This bear dares to exist within my proximity. Yeah. Bears can also smell you from a good few kilometers away, several kilometers away. Polar bears are probably the nastiest bears in the world. They will straight up manhunt you. Same thing with some grizzly bears. They will actually like stalk you, follow you, see what you're doing. It's pretty wild when you study like the behavior of animals. Like I said, not just cats and dogs, like bears, and obviously everybody knows like pigs and elephants are super intelligent. But even other types of little bibits and shit, it can be pretty effing wild. But yeah, let me just save my progress for now. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so, in a sick, twisted way with my snake gone and me not really planning on getting one anytime soon, I was also looking to sell my tank, big, massive tank I have behind me. I guess I'll be able to get rid of it now, put it on its side, sort of like in storage. That's going to open up a lot of room in my room here, so I could better like lay out my guitar and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just kind of like annoyed, like I said, all those things happening all in the same day. Because this game, I was all like into the whole progress, like, ooh, this is so cool. It's like, oh, I'm almost level 13. What engine can I buy now? So that part of it now is gone because I just have everything, right? It's like wanting to play Skyrim and you start a fresh game at like level 150 with all the armor, all the skills, everything maxed out. You know, in one way you can have some fun, but to me that would get boring pretty fast. At least to me it would. Kind of like that sense of progression, which is the same thing with Grim Dawn. I kind of botched Grim Dawn for myself. I was giving myself all this gold, I was buying all the best armor, and then I said, oh, let me just do the skill points of it. Oh, just a couple here. And then I was like going around killing stuff, and I was like, man, this is fucking boring. So some games it's not as bad, but yeah. Like this game, it's a driving game, right? To me, this is relaxing. Like I said, I got an actual gas pedal, the shifter, the steering wheel. I feel like I'm actually driving a truck, right? And especially with like a big television in front of me, and it feels like I'm like in the game. So the immersion for me is, what does it for me, and the challenge of doing some of these drives with like a big trailer, and how sharp of a turn do I got to take so I don't knock my trailer into the guy's Jeep and knock him off the bridge to his death. I've only done that a few times. I'm just saying. Can't be held responsible for people's virtual lives. So that'll still be fun for me. There's a lot less stress now involved as well with me having to level up and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, very slow stream, like I said tonight. I mean, the title's not exactly appealing, but it's the truth. It is what's going on. Definitely not streaming like later, because normally I stream around like 8. That tends to be like my usual time-ish. But this time I decided, you know what? Let me just do it a little bit early. And yeah. So now what I wanted to do, just really quick, because like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this for. Let me see if I can find, just for the fun of it, the kind of... Hold on here. Because I got the steering wheel with the keyboard in the way. Trying to see if I... Oh, there we go. There we go. That is 100% bang on the snake that I had. Corn snake. For the couple of people that are in here. And then what I'll do, for the sake of comparison, I will show you what a regular corn snake looks like. Like what you can find... Oh, that didn't work. The hell is all this crap? Anyway, so like a white snake, like I said. And I'll type in the word regular. So that's what a regular corn snake looks like. That tends to be like the regular color morph, if you will, like their pattern. But mine was a snow, so it was like hypomelanistic and right. But instead of having like the blotches, like the circular patches, like you can see, it was a tessera pattern. So mine was more of like a pinstripe color instead of them being circles that were straight lines. So it was a little bit more of like a rare morph, if you will. But that's what I had. And actually, if I show you a regular snow corn like the one that well, similar to what I had, you'll see it a little bit. So that's similar to what I had again, but you could see the blotches, the circular blotches again, like I said. So it is very similar. Like it's the same colors. It's just the pattern is a little bit different. Well, those are hog noses. I don't know why that's there. But yeah, pretty interesting creatures. I'll probably get another one someday, but definitely not anytime soon. The other one that I had, but I had a small version of it. This is the one that people would have gone absolutely crazy for, and that is the reticulated python. So that's what I had before. See, like the shimmer? Actually, that's a really nice picture. Uh, Clicking on the picture doesn't always work. There we go. Holy cow. That's actually pretty detailed. I'm just watching it in the yeah, there. So that's the snake I had before. Oh, there, I can really zoom in. Look at that. It's like a cat's eye. You can see like their vertical pupil. See like that shimmer they have, like that iridescence. So that's just a regular morph of a reticulated python. Hello, Stotts. So that was the snake I was talking about that I had, the retic, short for reticulated python, that I got from a pet store in another province where it was legal to have said snake, and it was just attacking everybody. But I walked in there, put my hand in, no problem. It was like love at first sight. It's pretty cool. And at that point, I used to take her out like all the time in the backyard and stuff. Let her bask in the sun. Yeah, they're really nice. Like I said, these are considered like regular, like they're considered normal reticulated pythons. Most people don't want these, but I think they're very colorful. They pretty much all look the same, sort of have like that diamond pattern to them with the yellows and the blacks and like the brownish bronze golden color. And then that shimmer, that kind of looks like gasoline in a puddle of water. So that's pretty cool. I miss having that snake, but like I said, with where I live now, even though the one I had was really small, I mean really small, it would be like, imagine getting an anaconda the size of like a little ruler. You would think that'd be impossible. Well, it's because what I had was technically called a super dwarf reticulated python. So what you do is you take like the run. Actually, it's a different subspecies, but we won't get into that. Um, it's kind of like people, humans around the world, right? Certain races, different culture, like different people. Um, some people tend to be a little bit taller, a little bit broader than others, right? Some nationalities, people are a bit smaller, stuff like that. It's kind of the same thing with snakes within the same species, is what I'm saying. Like there's green anacondas, there's yellow anacondas. Greens tend to be a lot bigger than yellow anacondas, right? Just stuff like that. But the island where these ones were from, they were so tiny, you would think it was a baby and it was full grown. But because the scientific name is the same and it's never been recognized as its own subspecies, they just keep it simple and just say, fuck you. It's a reticulated python. I don't care how small it is, it's gone. Because where I live, you're allowed to have boas and pythons up to 6 feet. Well, mine was only 5. So I was within the limit. But it's because of its name, right? It's like if I told you it had an anaconda, oh my God, you know? And then I was like, yeah, but mine's only 3 feet long and it's full grown. Oh, it's still an anaconda. Oh my God. And so bylaw freaks out and they just say, we don't want you having that shit. So, yeah, until they die like mine did today. Just before I streamed, actually. Really annoying. I don't know if you were in here when I showed the picture. Where is it? So that's a regular corn snake again, just for the sake of conversation for anybody that just joined. That's a regular colored corn snake. And mine was a white corn snake, a snow tessera. So again, instead of the blotches, like I said, it had more of a pinstripe. Kind of had like a yellowish white to it. So it looked very, very similar to that. Or like this, because even that one has like the pinstripe again on it. Right? This one's a different one. But yeah, that's what I had. So I will have to get another one at some point. Maybe not like the same color, but I do like them a lot because, well, white snakes aren't really all that overly common kind of thing. I mean, I can easily just go and get one right now, but it's not a. What the fuck is that? Bunch of things just popped open. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, some of them can get expensive. The one I had wasn't really all that expensive, but hold on, I'm gonna have to go in a minute. Yeah, so like I said, I like the I'm trying to find an adult one. They always show the frickin' babies. The adult ones do tend to look a little bit different. Well, their heads don't look like a little pinhead. Like you could just tell these are like little babies. This looks more like that's a more like a creamsicle corn. But let's not get too technical. But yeah, just a corn snake. They're very similar to rat snakes. But yeah, see, just like so many different colors, eh? They almost look like to the average person, they would look like a completely different snake when it's just different color morph, right? Like no two look the same. Oh wow. I don't know if that's photoshopped. No, it probably isn't actually. That's pretty extreme. Blood red corn snake. It's like a hypo blood red probably. Oh yeah, if it's from South Mountain Reptiles, it's probably, yeah, that's legit. Sometimes you can't tell, eh? Like it's kind of hard to tell sometimes by looking at them. But anyways, I played a little bit of my game just to kind of recap there because I am going to head off, going to relax. I streamed a little bit early today. I tried redoing my room a little bit. I did some weird things like unplugging my computer, putting it in a different wall socket, using a different power adapter to see if there was like a grounding issue because of that whole sound thing that I have that happens several times a day. The same problem persists regardless. I tried switching my audio interface into different USB ports. It was the same problem. So, yeah. And like I said, in case you didn't know, Stotts, it is 100% a done deal. I did not get the Alienware. I got approved for the credit, got canceled for the verification because my phone number that I provided them didn't match the one that they had at the credit at Equifax. I was like, so fucking stupid. So that's out. Snake's gone. Computer's still fucked. I'm annoyed. Big time. Because now I actually have to save up my money for like a good couple of months and then plop all the money up front in one shot and build a brand new computer. The only difference is it'll be cheaper because I don't need to buy a graphics card, right? When you buy a pre-built Alienware, they come with the graphics card. But yeah. Yeah, so on and off, I've been playing guitar. I recorded a couple of videos today, didn't really do too much. I didn't sleep well last night, so I may go to bed early tonight, not too sure. Kind of in the mood to just kind of relax, because for the past 5 days, I've spent, believe it or not, and I'm not exaggerating, I probably spent close to 4 to 5 hours on and off with Dell customer support and their finance team, and it's just very draining, right? So it was really frustrating to just finally be told, oh, you don't have like your name on a utility bill? It's like, no, bitch, I don't pay that shit. I don't have my name on bills. I don't have bills. So what? I got to be penalized because of that? Apparently my driver's license isn't enough. They needed more. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck them. Well, I didn't make a mistake on the number. Oh, you have? In Hitman 3? Nah, not really. I'm not really taking a break from Hitman 3. I still have to do the final Silent Assassin suit only for the last map. I just been so stressed with time. Like I said, I'm trying to become more serious with my guitar playing. I started doing P90X again. I'm on Weight Watchers. I haven't really lost any weight in the last month. I only lost like about 1.5 pounds or so. But I'm still down 12 pounds from when I started, 12 or 13 pounds roughly. I'm down from back in December, first week of December when I started Weight Watchers. So, I mean, that's the good news. I didn't put back on any weight that I lost. I just didn't really progress much further in January than I would have liked. And now we're already the first and a half week of February. So, first month I lost like 10 pounds. Second month I lost like 2 pounds, 10 pounds. You know what I mean? So, yeah. No, I don't give a shit. Fuck them. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot more of that, so that takes up my time, right? Like I said, then I go out, I get dressed, I go for walks, even when it's really cold out. That could be quite time consuming. Some people go, oh, he's on disability. He just sits at home all day in front of the goddamn computer screen and just, plays games all day. Yeah, if only you knew. That's not how it works. A lot of times I get tired or I've got migraine headaches and I feel like absolute ass. I feel like I can't breathe. I have a lot of issues, right? So sometimes I'm like relaxing, not doing good. So there's not a lot of time in a day where I have the energy or I'm up to do anything. So hence why I always say I don't have a lot of time. I technically do. I just don't have a lot of quality time where I actually feel good and up to the task. Because that'll confuse people. Well, he doesn't work. Fuck does he mean he's got no time? you know? Yeah. I know it can sound funny on the surface, but anyways. Yeah, so that'll be it for now. And again, I did this stream at 30 frames, so in closing, the reason for the gaming in the beginning for something to do, it's to showcase again that when I turn off the border around my webcam and I stream at 30 frames and not 60, my games perform noticeably better. I can game at 60. Get it? So I can have the game for me at 60, but you're getting it at 30 frames. And that makes a huge difference again to offset the fact that my computer's just that old. So I might be able to get by, like I said, with using this computer for another couple of months until maybe I piece something together. But yeah. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Tomorrow I should probably be a little bit more, I don't know if organized is the right way, but I'll probably have a bit more of a normal stream. Might play a little bit more Hitman 3. I might try to work on a couple of little challenges that I want to work on. Starting to run out of things to do, which is good. That means I'll be able to just start playing the game and being silly because I won't be so concerned about trying to get all these challenges. And I might play some more truck. I don't know. Like I said, what I'll do tomorrow. I just kind of take it day by day. But yeah, as always, I'm on Twitter on and off. Always yelling at people on there. It's fun. And I should be around tomorrow sometime throughout the day and see what's going on from there. All right, so I shall see some of you maybe tomorrow.